This Sons of Africa podcast. I'm African Ant.
This is Black Sun.
And I think this is episode 8.
Nah,
right?
man, we passed episode 8.
Oh, so episode 9?
It's 9, I think, yeah.
Okay, we moving along. Episode 9.
We gotta look it up and find out, though, see where it is.
I think it's episode 9, though. We gonna make sure what episode it is. But yeah, so this is our first in studio, the little studio interview in person.
Yeah, I came back home down to Cleveland, visit my mom for my birthday. So those of y'all watching, y'all can wish me a happy birthday. Send me some money if you can. I might
tell them the cash app then, since you're gonna beg.
I ain't gonna have a cash app. I'm gonna have OnlyFans. That's what I'm about to have. OnlyFans.
What? Oh my God, let's talk about this. Hold on. What's gonna be on your OnlyFans, man?
Man, my feet, bro.
Your feet?
Yeah, that's all it's gonna be on.
You gonna have an OnlyFans with you. I don't think nobody want to see your crusty, ugly feet on no OnlyFans, man.
Be surprised at what type of kinks people be into.
So let me ask you, what if it's all males on there?
Yeah, that's fine with me. They're gonna be paying, bro.
So what type of feet stuff is you gonna be doing? I want to know, what type of feet stuff are you gonna be doing on OnlyFans?
Just showing them, man.
Just showing them your feet?
Yeah, I'm gonna dip them in some honey and all that type of stuff.
Y'all ain't never seen this feet. Nobody want to see them feet on the OnlyFans.
Shut up, bro.
You ain't got them kind
You ain't seen my feet either.
I grew up with you. I know what your feet look like. They don't change much. Nobody want to see those type of feet on the OnlyFans, man.
No, I'm just playing.
No, he not.
Yes, I am.
He like the OnlyFans with his feet. So how was your weekend so far? Oh yeah, happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
My weekend's been pretty good.
What you 51 now?
If I'm 51, I look good for 51.
I
told y'all all look older than me, man.
No, that's a lie.
Y'all look older than me, man. Ain't a lie, man. You look like an old man right now, bro.
I don't.
You look like you got me by at least 5 more years.
That's a lie. Y'all get in the comment section and tell us who look like the older brother. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be you.
Tell us who look like the older brother.
It's gonna be you.
And then we gonna tell y'all who the older brother is.
It's gonna be you. They don't confuse it with sexy, because I know that's what y'all gonna put me down on there for. But
anywho,
don't confuse it with that. So what we gonna talk about today?
So how your weekend been, man? You watch any movies?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
I did too. I actually watched it today. It was dope.
I watched it today. You liked it?
Yeah, it was dope. I definitely liked it. And usually when people talk about a movie a lot on social media, why you don't like it? What you don't like about it, man?
That movie was trash, bro.
All right. The part I didn't like, because I knew from the previews that it was gonna be Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, whatever. Same.
How you gonna say whatever, bro?
Scorpion, okay, Scorpion.
That's why he liked it, because you don't even know the franchise.
Luke Kane was always the main person, though, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of put him on the back burner, man, for this movie.
They shouldn't have.
But I think everybody else special powers is better than his. All he do is kick. Oh, he had a fireball, though.
I didn't like that they gave people special powers.
They had special powers. They had, what's his name? Had the rope, Scorpion.
Those aren't special powers, though. Like
Freezing ain't like a special power?
Lin Kuei is like, that's what they do, man. It's like they're clan. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They train to do that type of stuff. It's like when you look at like how they do martial arts and everything else, they always talk about like inner ki and energy and stuff. Like Dragon Ball, where they always powering up. So it's like that's what they do. They train to do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Scorpion has his abilities because he actually died, went to hell, and then came back. So that's where he gets those abilities for, as far as being able to pull the rope out of his arm and stuff like that, breathing fire on people. That's where he get all his abilities from. Same thing with Liu Kang. He trained hard to master his own ki and energy to be able to throw balls of fire and stuff like that. What they did was they just gave everybody like this free one-up card that gave them abilities that don't make sense as to why they have them. Like Kano's eye was because it was cybernetic, not because he just had this special power. Yeah, he was always in the original game, but it wasn't because he had some type of special power that he was able to shoot one laser beam out of one eye. That don't even make sense. Why would he have one eye that shoots a laser beam?
Yeah.
Why not both of his eyes? You know what I'm saying? So that was retarded in itself.
He was my favorite character, though.
I mean, yeah, he was funny in the show.
Yeah,
he was funny to me.
I like comedy.
And then they sent it around some no-name jabroni dude who I didn't care about his story, man. He wasn't nobody special. He was a loser that was getting beat up in MMA fighting. And what was the point of all
Oh, he was
that?
an MMA fighter for real?
No, I mean talking about in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
So what was the point of that, bro? It wasn't a good movie, man. I didn't like it.
I liked the graphics and all that stuff, man.
I mean, yeah, they did good with that, but they like Melina. They messed up on her because
Melina was a black chick, right?
Yeah, because it made it look like she just had some red stuff smeared on the side of her cheeks the whole way through.
Though. She still had sex appeal to her,
but she wasn't supposed to. That's the thing with Melina. Like she is supposed to when she wears her mask. When she takes off her mask, it's supposed to look like it was before she died, when she had all them teeth. Ain't nobody gonna think she's sexy and she got all them teeth grinning at you like that. Period. That's how she was supposed to look. But they made it look like she just had the smear on her to where she still looked cute the whole way through. And it's just like, what they doing, man? That's what I told my wife. I said, she still looks like she a cute, good-looking chick, and that's not how she's supposed to be. So, man, they messed up a lot of stuff.
She was sexy, though.
I mean, yeah, she wasn't supposed to be. She's not supposed to be.
I know. But I liked it. Mm-hmm. I liked it, man. And I usually, when people talk about a movie on social media, I usually tend not to like it when they talk about it a lot for some reason. But this one I did like.
But everybody on social media you saw said like this?
Yeah, everybody was saying how good it was. Like, it was dope. Mortal Kombat.
It wasn't even dope, bro. Even the fights wasn't as good as I wanted them to be. I think the original movie was way better. Way better. It had a better plot and everything else that went along with it. It was way better.
Other than that, what else? So what you doing for your birthday weekend? I know you came to Cleveland.
I don't know. I'm trying to go out somewhere later on tonight with the wife and just get some drinks or something. But I don't know. Visit everybody else in the family if I can. If I can get in touch with them and see what they up to. That's about it, man.
Okay. So let's get to it. First thing first, we're gonna talk about the whole situation with I cannot think of her name, but the young lady from Columbus.
Man, look it up, bro. Could you?
Yeah, I can. Young lady from Columbus. She 17 years old who got shot by the police.
She's 17? I thought she was 15.
Oh, 16. 16. She was 16.
I thought she was 15. What's her first name? What's her name?
I'm about to look up. I'm about to look it up. No, I think it's Ma'khia. I think it's Kaya or something like that. I think her name is Kaya. I'm gonna play the audio.
Yeah, Ma'khia Bryant.
Yeah, Ma'khia Bryant. Okay. Yeah. And, oh.
I don't know, bro. You tell me what you got going on.
Oh, Ma'khia. So we're gonna play the audio of that real quick, so y'all can and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna play the audio, then we're gonna talk. I mean.
What's going on? The information was that a caller.
So what happened was it was a fight between two sisters. Well, I can't say they're two sisters, but from since a lot of stuff came out, they said they was fighting over to clean up. The Ma'khia Bryant was supposed to clean her room, or it was something about cleaning. Is what it started over. So someone called the police. They said it was Ma'khia, but it didn't sound like her because they said somebody is a girl here with a knife trying to stab us, and she the one who had the knife when the police came up. And so when the police got there, that's when everything went off. The girl came at the one girl with the knife. She fell. It was a pussy ass guy that was there that kicked the girl. That nigga's a pussy.
Who? What you mean?
That guy he kicked the girl that was on the ground. It was a guy there, a grown man there, kicked the girls on the ground. He's a pussy.
Okay.
He said that it's supposed to be her father, the young lady that got killed. And then the young lady turned and went charging at another young lady with a knife. And then as she about to emotion, the cop shot her. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. I'm sure everybody saw what happened. So we're going to give our take on that. So you go first.
No, you go ahead. Because I'm trying to read up on it. I like to know exactly what I'm about to talk about. Because all I know is what the video said, but I'm trying to see what the facts say about it. So go ahead. You go ahead and give your
So from the facts that I got, the girl, Ma'khia, they supposed to be cleaning the house up. They told her to clean up because it was her mom's birthday, the foster mom's birthday. And that's why the other girls was there, because it was the foster mom's birthday. And they came, and then they told her to clean up for the party, but she didn't want to clean up. And that's how the fight started. So now I just got to say this, man. I'm not saying that. I feel like I wish the cop could have tried to use a taser, could have did something else. Is what I think he could have did something else. I do, but they say when this what they call it with force,
lethal force.
lethal force, they can use a lethal weapon, which was his gun. So that's why the man didn't pull a taser or nothing else, and he saved a life. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, the whole thing with police brutality and black people. Now that case is self-explanatory. If you see it, it's self-explanatory. Like we can't hope for that man to get off. That man probably gonna not even get charged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He probably won't even get charged. He actually saved somebody's life, and that's what he was called to do, is save somebody's life. So he won't get charged with that case. But a lot of people saying that he could have did this, he could have did that. Now, what if he didn't shoot her? What if he didn't kill her? And God bless that young lady and condolences to her family. But what if he didn't? Then somebody else would have died, possibly died or stabbed. You know what I mean? And that's what the police is there to protect and serve, right?
Yeah.
But my whole thing ain't with this situation. My whole thing is with my people. I love my people. I love my people. I love my people. But we cannot resist arrest. I know we don't resist sometime, and then they shoot and kill. I understand that. But a lot of these cases, these guys be resisting. They be fighting back instead of just listening to what they say, do as they say, and fight it in court, man. Fight it in court so you can come home. I know that in certain cases, that's why I say it's case-by-case scenario, because they show videos of cops arresting white guys, how they be more gentle with them and all that. But until you show me a video of that same cop being excessive with black people, it's case-by-case scenario to me. You can't say that cop that was gentle with that white dude and show me a video of that same cop being going all off the book with a black person. It's case by case. It's just like they say, it's ghetto black people, it's ghetto Chinese people, it's ghetto in each race. Now, everybody don't think, you think you ghetto?
No.
You think all black people ghetto?
No.
So it's case by case, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing with those situations with the cops, it's case by case. You can't put every cop and say, oh, look how they doing us. You showing me this dude that's treating them right, but you show me a whole different other cop that's doing police brutality. Show me the guy that's treating that person right, treating a black person, police brutality a black person.
Good question.
Okay.
Do you think the cops that are doing the brutality and being brutal and excessive, do you think the other cops don't know that they do this?
No, I'm sure they know they do it.
So do you think that those cops that know that he do this, do you think they fight to get him out of the precinct?
This the thing with that.
No. Answer the question. Do you think they fight to get him out of the precinct?
I don't think so.
Okay. So
I
then,
can say
have you ever heard the term one bad apple? What?
Excuse me?
What the term? One bad apple does what?
I never heard of that term.
Okay. The term goes, one bad apple spoils the bunch.
Okay.
So that one bad apple will corrupt and destroy everything else.
But I really think that it's good cops that's really trying to fight against the police brutality. I personally believe that.
Have you heard of the blue wall of silence?
Yeah, I know what that is.
Right.
I heard about that.
Have you know that both good cops and they participate in the blue wall of silence? Meaning they will protect even the bad cops because they all consider them police fraternity.
And that's true. I gotta agree with that. Okay. Like I'm not disagreeing with that.
All right. So do you know that the cops who have actually spoken out against some of the wrongdoings of other cops have been let go and fired from the job?
And we should be standing up for them and fighting for them.
People do stand up for them and fight for them, but they can't. Ain't nothing you can do about them because they fired them from the job. Then they won't be treated. That's
why we need to go.
Let me ask you this: do you think that corrupt cops who do bad stuff wouldn't set up a good cop who they think is a snitch to have something bad happen to him?
I'm pretty sure they would.
All right. So then what are you talking about, bro, about good cops and stuff? If good cops turn a blind eye to bad things that are going on, they are no longer good cops, bro. They are complicit to the crime, are they not? If we were to go somewhere and I robbed the bank and you knew I robbed the bank and you didn't tell nobody, would you be arrested also for it?
Say it again.
If we went somewhere and I robbed the bank, right? You seen me rob the bank. I got in your car. We drove off. You like, man, what you doing? What you doing? And I say, don't tell nobody about it. But then they find out that you was with me. Would you get arrested for that?
If you robbed a bank and we were in on this bank robbery together, I'm not going to jail. I'm telling.
But I'm saying if you don't tell, they
why
find out.
But why would I not tell though?
I mean, because they don't tell. The other cops, the good cops don't tell when the bad cops do something.
Why would I not tell if you rob a bank? And
that's not the point. The point of why would you not tell? I'm saying in this scenario, you don't tell, and you get caught. Would you not be arrested along with them?
Yeah, if you don't tell.
All right then. So that's what I'm. That's all people saying when they come to cops in general of what they do and the things like that. As far as what they're going through, it's like our tax dollars are what are paying used to pay towards cops and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And cops are set up to protect and to serve the community. But now they have become judge, jury, and executioners. And you have cops that are out there, which the FBI has proven that a lot of cops, a lot of racist organizations, KKK, white supremacists have infiltrated both our police forces, military, and everything like that. So they're running rampant in there, and they're actively trying to recruit people. They got cops on video when the whole riots and stuff happened there, talking about how they can't wait to shoot black people and stuff like that and everything. You know, these are things that cops have said to each other. They got a police chief who was talking to a secretary mad at her because she was talking to a black dude. Calling them all types of niggas and stuff when they was in the car and when they was driving away. He a police chief. So you mean to tell me that you got all these people who act like that as cops?
But I'm not saying that the good cops ain't corrupt with the bad cops. But what I am saying is, us as black people, I love my people, but we got to stop resisting the rest. We got to let them do whatever they're gonna do without us resisting. I know it's cases where some of us don't resist. And you all right?
No. Because I'm doing that because I hate when people say that.
What I'm saying
I mean, I get where the sentiment comes from, but the idea of, like you just said, you know, there are people who did not resist arrest and was killed. All right. I've seen plenty of videos where people aren't resisting arrest, but cops keep yelling, "Stop resisting, stop resisting," and they not resisting arrest. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So you can do that. I had somebody at my job say the same thing. I said, yeah, you can take that chance. It's a good chance you might end up just going straight to jail. But what happened to the one dude who was in the back of the car and they rolled so rough that they ended up killing him in the back of the truck?
And that's crazy. That's messed up.
So you tell me, like, when are you gonna be safe? When you get in the jail cell? You don't even know if you're gonna be safe in there. Because what happened to Chandra Bland when she got in the jail cell?
That's true.
So then when you gonna be safe?
I'm saying, because it's like, I had these discussions at work, and it'd be like certain situations, they'd be like, oh, he shouldn't have did, he shouldn't have. I'm like, but like, I'll give you an example. In the Wendy's in Atlanta, it was a guy, he was getting a DUI, he did everything right, but as soon as they wanted to arrest him, he tried to run, he was beating the shit out them cops, they tased him, all that, and they ended up killing him, and they wanted to protest on that, and I was like, that's messed up that they killed him, but...
You mean the dude that fell asleep in the
but he beat the mess out of them cops, man.
He didn't beat them.
Yes, he did.
I can't remember him fighting.
Yeah, he slammed him on the ground. He was beating the dog. He was beating out them cops, man. He was, and I'm like, man, that's messed up. But at the same time, like, he did everything right, but he started resisting. You know, when they hit him with the taser, that didn't work. I think they pepper sprayed him, and they ended up shooting him. But they were still trying to protest that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I in that situation, I'm like, I can't really fault them police in that situation. Yeah, they was being assholes to him. When he was talking, I
think that's what the problem is, man. Is them being assholes. Because even in certain situations, they can let people go and just not deal with them. They can be like, they knew they had his license and everything like that. They knew where he lived. They could have easily went there and picked him up from his house. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like they didn't have to go the route that they went, man. It's like some of them, like I tell this to my wife all the time, bro. It's like some of them, they get up in there and what they do is like they get in that situation. And they realize they don't messed up, but they see, since they messed up, they just like, I'm just gonna commit to it anyway. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna sit back and be like, okay, you know what? Let's just calm this down. Let's chill. Let's de-escalate the situation. I'm just gonna commit to what I'm about to do and just keep it going, regardless. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's the same thing like we talk about with George Floyd and stuff like that. When all the people was out there saying, "Hey man, he ain't resisting. You got him on the ground. You got your knee on his neck. You gonna kill him. You should get up." He could have easily said, "All right, you know what? Yeah, he did." Because they have a power trip and feel like because I'm the police, you have to do what I say. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not. Now, nobody's saying if you got legitimate reasons. Like, some of the stuff that they be arresting people for is just bothering folks. You ain't got to arrest nobody because he fell asleep in the line and getting the fast food or something like that. Let him go pull over to the side. If you say you're going to pull over to the side and go to sleep, let him pull over to the side and go to sleep and just relax and chill out. You know what I'm saying? That's all they could have easily did with that whole situation. And that's all I'm saying. That's what most people are saying when it comes to cops. It's like, it's the bad apples that be in there that even the good people don't even say nothing against. So why would you trust any of them? Because y'all not even on nobody's side. The only side cops are on is on the cop side. That's it.
I don't know. I just be wanting not to resist, and then something happen like somebody get killed or something, not to resist. So it'd be so hard to defend it because
man, it ain't about hard to defend it. Look, we gotta stop doing this stuff because as it is now, we got too many people on all sides who always want to regulate how black people should act in every motherfucking situation, bro. Everybody want to act. This is what you should do. You should do this. If y'all did this, this will happen. And everything that we've done everything under the sun and still end up getting the same results. I say each individual needs to judge their situation according to whatever you are going through and whatever vibe you got coming from the cops. If you feel like it ain't going to be safe, call some other cops over there and tell them to come over here and say this one cop is tripping. But once again, I've seen cops trip out when you do that and start yanking you up and smashing your windows and going crazy. So it's hard to tell people what you should do and what you shouldn't do because any part of that, somebody can end up still dead regardless. You know what I'm saying? You can say don't resist arrest, then they end up dead. So then it's like you look like Boo Boo the Fool because at least you could have said I could have went out fighting if you're gonna kill me anyway. Now I'm over here dying on my knees, bro, instead of dying standing. So it's like, what do you really tell people to do? It's an individual situation. All you can do is hope and pray that you're gonna get out the situation, bro. That's it, man. But I'm getting tired of people always trying to tell black people how you should act and how you should behave and how you should do this and everything like that. But we don't put them same things on everybody else. We don't go up there and we don't fight. We don't go to Capitol Hill or whatever and go over and start petitioning for Biden to put up laws and regulations to stop cops from doing stuff towards us to where we don't need to do that situation. Make it harder for cops to kill people. You know what I'm saying? If they doing this to black people for a lot, make it so that if they do it and there is no justifiable cause for them to be able to pull out their firearm and kill somebody, that they go to jail. A minimum of 10 years, period. Just on the GP, just from doing it. Because they have a duty to uphold, and if they abuse that duty, then they should. If you got cops that have more than, I don't know, how many ever complaints anybody think is too much about them doing it, if you look at their record and you only see that they only pick up black people, only harass black people, only harass minorities, all of that stuff should be looked into, and each and every one of them cops should be either taken off the force or arrested. Whichever one is the best thing to do. Why ain't we talking about doing stuff like that? Why is it always that, hey, black people, shuck and jive. If you want to live, shuck and jive. I mean, that's all you telling everybody to do, man.
That's all I'm saying is it's like I say, on certain situations, I'm not saying the cops right because they be wrong. I can name a lot of situations where they was wrong. But I can name situations too where we was resisting and it caused us to lose our life.
Is resisting arrest a sentence for death? It's not. Okay then.
It's not.
So resisting arrest, it don't matter if you resist arrest. It's not a reason to shoot somebody.
We know they trying to shoot to kill us, so we gotta outsmart them. We gotta think for them. You know what I mean?
You got cops that will plant drugs on you, bro.
That's true.
So what are you talking about doing?
If
you run into a bogus cop, you run into a bogus cop. So what are you talking about?
I say go to jail, fight it with a lawyer, fight it in court, then lose your life. That's all I'm saying.
You remember have you heard about the judge that got arrested because they found out that he was sentencing like kids to prison and stuff like that?
I heard about that.
Yeah. So you want to trust the courts to do you fairly? Is that what you're saying?
I'd rather trust the courts than be dead.
Really?
I'd rather trust the courts than be dead.
I mean, I get what you're saying. You being like optimistic. You in the belief that the court system is.
I don't believe in the court system.
Then why would you think you're still not gonna be dead, bro?
Well, I rather get judged by 12 than buried by 6, than carried by 6.
What about judge by the 12? And then
plus the glory,
then put him in jail. Yeah. And
hey,
then still carried by 6
I'm
afterwards.
still living though.
And still carried by 6 afterwards. You don't know if you're gonna survive for that. What about the dude, the kid? I can't remember his name. They arrested him because they thought he stole something from a store or something. He didn't even do it. Put him in jail for some years, bro. Years. He went through all types of stuff in there.
I mean,
raped, beat, all of that stuff. When they
I
found
know
out,
you talking about Khalif Browder.
Yeah, and when he got out, he killed himself, bro.
Yeah, I know you talking about Khalif Browder.
So he was still judged by the 12 and still killed himself, buried by 6.
He did.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like you talking about options as if it's gonna be either or, but you never realize that it can just be both, bro.
I mean,
But and what I'm saying is that we shouldn't be always saying what we should do. We should be every one of y'all that sat up there and voted for Biden. You,
no, no, don't say
everybody that said, "Hey,
don't say that.
Hey, as black people, we need to get Trump out of here." You know, Trump is the worst. He the worst. You know what I'm saying? When Trump came around, racism just appeared out of nowhere, and we got to do stuff about it.
Been racist.
All of y'all, I know,
Ain't none of them
I know,
Shit.
I know. All of y'all who did all that hooping and hollering, should be the first people over there at the Capitol doorstep telling Biden we need to change some things about these police. Period. We need to do something about this. Period. Because we shouldn't have to walk on eggshells in an America where we're supposed to be free citizens, able to live our lives, but being fearful of the people who are we paying to serve and protect us, because we don't know what will be the thing that will trigger them for the day.
You know,
they may be the best cop in the world, be nice and friendly at one time, and something happens, and all of a sudden they the biggest dick, and the person who they want to take it out on may be the next colored person they pick up on.
You know,
so what we gonna do?
You know what I think we should do? We should go back to them days when we had the Black Panthers around. We policed our own neighborhood.
We could, but what did they do to the Black Panthers?
That gotta stop too. That's another. That gotta stop, man. It go back to Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois, to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. We always divided, and that's how they conquer us, man. We never on the same page, and we gotta get on the same page in order to protect ourselves.
I mean, and you know what? My wife be saying this all the time, that black people need to stay on code.
We do. We gotta get on the same page.
She's saying that staying on code means that regardless on what happened to this young girl and the cop and what she was doing, black people should still stay on code and fight against the police system to get them to stop being so excessive with violence when it comes towards black people. Regardless if she had the gun or not and all of that stuff, he was still a bit excessive with the thing. Now, I've said this before. I blame everybody in that whole situation. The parents, the people that showed up at the house,
the parents too.
The cops, all of it. Because everything didn't have to go down in the way that it did.
Especially that coward-ass dude that kicked that girl. I don't like that. That's
Oh, yeah, him?
Because they could have prevented this from happening, man. We know, like, that's why I try not to call the police as much as I can, because I know what's going to happen when you call them.
What's going to happen?
You know what's going to happen, man. It ain't going to turn out right. So I try to prevent every situation.
Let me tell you, there's a time that me and my wife, we was playing around, right? We was being, like, real loud when we was playing around. We wrestled around a lot.
I beat my wife up. Nah, I'm just playing.
So in us wrestling around, I guess the neighbors heard us, and I guess they called the police over, right? Mm-hmm. So the police came over and they knocking on the door, talking about, hey, you know, we heard some stuff was going on. Can we come in? My wife said, do I need to let y'all in? It was like, no. And she was like, well, then cool. Y'all don't need to come in. Y'all can just go on about your business. And she holds that same philosophy that when they come over, things normally will escalate beyond what they need to be, because they get over there and they feel like they going to be the ones in charge of everything. They going to bully themselves around and make you do this, and that, and everything else, man. But it's like, it's sad for you to say that you try not to call the police when that's not the way it's supposed to be, bro. You should be able to know that you can call the police if something come on.
We got to police our own neighborhood like we did back in the day, man. It's so conflicting because I saw an interview with the mother, and the mother, I guess it was the foster mother, and she said that story about the cleaning or whatever. Then I saw another interview with another person. Well, this somebody told me that they said it was a lady that talked to the mother at the visual, and the mother said they was bullying the girl. They always bullying the girl, and this, that, and the third. They came over there to bully her, and this what somebody told me. So I don't know. This is fourth hand information now. So I don't quote me on it, but don't quote me on none of them. But you know, they said the mother, the same mother that said that she supposed to clean the house up, and for her party, that's why the girls was there. Said that they was bullying on the girl, and they always bully on her. She was fed up with them bullying on her. That's why she went and grabbed a knife to protect herself. So, but I don't know. But that was the two stories I got. I don't know. I'm waiting for it to come on out. Well, but it's sad though. I just wish he did something.
What I was gonna say, to my understanding, okay, so if the whole issue is that she was being bullied, and that was her place where she stayed at. If they didn't stay there, I don't know if they stayed there or not. But if it was her place there, she was staying there, then she probably grabbed a knife to protect herself from being jumped from a bunch of people. And once again, like I said, the family, the parents, the adults in the whole situation should have stopped all that from happening in the first place. We don't know who called the cops. They say that she called the cops. You know what I'm saying? In the whole general scheme of things. So at least if she did, she was calling the cops because she either thought that they was gonna do something that they had no business doing, or that she was gonna get hurt messing with them. In which she grabbed a knife to defend herself against them and stuff like that. And like I told a whole bunch of people, she may have been so caught up in the fighting that she didn't even realize that the cop was there and was just kept on going. And and the cop got out and just saw her with a knife, saw her getting ready to stab somebody, and he judged that he probably needed to put her down and stop her and stuff like that. But everybody's angry about it because they saying that he didn't try to do anything else to stop her. And I know people are saying that he was saving another life and stuff like that. But then it's like, well, was he saving another life?
I wish the
Or
girl,
was the other life and the other girl's gonna take her life? You know what I'm saying? Was she actually just defending herself against people who might have caused her even greater harm? There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into all of this, man.
I just wish that he did something different than just shoot her, man. I really do.
It would have been nice if he did. But then the question is why did he feel like he needed to grab his gun for the first time? You know what I'm saying? Could he have tased her before and stopped her?
But I guess it happened so fast. That was like.
It did. But the other cops that was there, you didn't see none of them grab their gun.
Because he already had his out. They don't want to get fired.
But
that's why they ain't grabbed here.
That could be the case. Because what I'm saying is none of them grabbed their guns, so none of them felt the need that it was that much of a threat to where they need to have their guns. Normally, when you see those type of situations, every cop in the vicinity got their gun pointed at an individual. You know what I'm saying? So he came out the car, seen the whole situation unfold, and he went ahead and grabbed his gun real fast, and he pulled the trigger. It's a sad situation, and it's a lot of people. Like I said, I fault everybody in that whole situation and stuff like that. Now, am I gonna go and say that the cop himself was racist? No, I can't say that the cop was racist. I can't say that he hates black people or anything like that. I don't know him to that extent to know him. I haven't heard him talk. I don't know how he is and stuff. We may get some news out that shows that he's always been excessive towards black people. You know what I'm saying? If you find out that that's been the case, then there's probably some underlying belief that he thinks that black people are just criminals and animals and that they need to be put down. And that's why he was so quick to take his gun and shoot somebody. And once again, these are issues that we have to deal with at the root cause and at the root of everything. And I'm saying it again, all y'all that said we need to vote so we can stop this type of stuff from happening.
That ain't gonna stop it.
Go and start petitioning towards Biden and making them change and make some laws.
Let me ask you this: what happened to the package that Ice Cube and his people came up with? I wonder what happened with that. He had like.
It got scrapped, I guess.
Because Trump was willing.
Because Ice Cube hasn't said nothing about Kamala Harris or Joe Biden.
I don't think he was supporting them because they ain't want to even take a look at the package.
No, I know, and he went to Trump, and Trump said he was considering or he was going to look at it or whatever. But I'm saying,
said, wait till I get elected.
Yeah, but I'm saying Biden has been elected, and I don't think Ice Cube has went to him to talk to him about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's the whole thing is that Biden don't have to do anything for us because we don't make it to the point of it's a necessity. You know what I'm saying? We easily gave our vote over.
I heard. I was watching this podcast, and I can't think of the name of the podcast. I would shout out if I knew it. And what the guy said, he was like, in order for them to even the politicians to do anything for us, we got to be paying them. Meaning, if we paying them, they're gonna do what we want them to do. But since we not paying them, you know what I'm saying? Since we not really funding them or really like what they call it when they go on there.
I can put it to you like this: I can guarantee you, the Asian community ain't funded nobody.
What is it called when they going they trying to get elected?
Lobbyists.
Not lobbyists.
Well, what they are is when they
what they call it, you know what I mean? When they come together, they get money from places to fund it.
Yeah, those I think those are lobbyists, bro. They give them money in order to get them to pass certain laws, rules, and things like that. And it's like backers. They're backing them and stuff.
He said we got to be one of those, the 5 families or whatever, the Waltons, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the families that's rich and they just pass it down and keep passing it down. They really control everything. He said we got to be one of those families, and we also have to pay the politicians that's in charge. You know what I mean? In order to make some real changes, it got to be coming from our budget. You know what I'm saying? They say if you paying them, and that I believe that if you paying them, they're gonna do what you say because you're paying them. You know what I'm saying? I believe that to a certain extent. But like Killer Mike said, we got to hit their pockets. We got to take all our money away from them and start putting our money into our own community. And he got a bank. It's some black owned banks, but most of them is in Atlanta. They not in all states.
I mean, that's one of the things that's the problem. They got all they stuff in Atlanta, but even if you do all of that, you're still spending. Look, we don't live in a world or a society where we can just be quartered off to ourselves and things like that. We're gonna have to always deal with white people. We're gonna have to buy goods from white folks and things like that. You can put your money in a black-owned bank, but all you're doing is still helping the people that's in charge of the bank getting more money and stuff like that. There's no guarantee you're gonna be making money and things like that. And you know what I'm saying? You can go to black-owned restaurants and support them and things like that, and go and have it go back into the community. But if the community isn't like a closed-off community to where everybody who's being hired in the community is black. Black people are only dealing with black people. Then the money is gonna always still circulate outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So all of that sounds good, but we so far away from that it just it's not a plausible thing to do. You know, in that regards, when it comes to the politicians and stuff, I don't. It's we can put money behind them, but that's no guarantee they're gonna do anything.
Kanye for president.
Yeah, because I think politicians, what these politicians want to do is they want to have a cake job where they sit up there and do all the stuff that they do and make money. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to worry about nothing for the rest of their life for the most part. You know, so what it is that we got to remove them from those positions, which is not giving them any type of voting power. And I think, and I said this before, and I think in our first podcast and whatnot, is that what we got to do is we got to find candidates that we like ourselves and back them, put money behind them, push them up in the forefront to be heavy hitters that we can all vote for and go to and look forward to, that we can talk to about what our problems are and what we want to see fixed and things like that. And all of that junk. Like I get what Killer Mike be saying, but I don't listen to none of these celebrities who already.
Let me ask you this. Now, this is something that I truly. That's why I said if I could speak to somebody dead or alive, it'd be Martin Luther King. And I think we had this conversation before. Do you think when we did the whole civil rights thing, you think that set us back more than it helped us when they passed the civil rights bill? Because mind you, to give you just to open it up to you, there we got our own everything.
I think integration set us back.
Yeah, that's what the civil rights was about. Remember he said I had a dream speech.
Yeah, but because before he died, is one of the things he said.
He led us to a burning house.
Yeah, into a burning house.
Now this is I'm glad you said that. Now this is my other question. Do you think Martin Luther King knew what he was doing, or do you think that they tricked him? The reason why I say that is because a part of me think that he was really a puppet for them, but they knew that he was, he had us behind him. A part of me believed that this is a part of me believed it. I don't know this to be true, but a part of me believed that he knew what he was doing.
No, I think
because who was he getting paid by?
I think Martin Luther King's message and what he wanted has been jumbled up. He felt he led us into a burning house because of the whole integrating with the enemy, and we're not getting nothing. You know?
I heard he found out about that was through Malcolm X. When he had sat down with Malcolm X, I was telling him like, no, this is gonna set us back even more.
No, because I think in the end of the whole thing, Malcolm X started leaning more towards Martin Luther King and realizing that not all white people are evil and bad and stuff like that. Because they said when he went to Mecca, he saw like white Muslims and things like that, and all of them joining together and being cool. But he still became a Pan-Africanist. He felt that all black people, regardless of your race, gender, religion, should all band together regardless and build a community around each other and things like that. So I think Martin Luther King, when he was talking, he wanted us to be treated as equal. You know what I'm saying? And maybe in that he thought that being treated as equal meant to be integrated with white society in order to be considered equal, when that wasn't the truth. Because even though we were beginning to be integrated, that doesn't mean that white people all of a sudden was going to be accepting of us being in their backyards and stuff like that. They weren't. You know what I'm saying? That's why still kept doing the stuff that they were doing and everything like that.
And it's crazy because we still look to them for acceptance instead of just taking acceptance from our own people. Like in the entertainment industry with those awards, we still look to them for like people before want to boycott this, the Oscars or whatever, because was it Jada wanted to boycott because somebody didn't get an Oscar? We
Will Smith thing.
Yeah, we still look to them for acceptance. Like we know what type of what we bring to.
It's because we have established that the Oscars is a top of the line award to get for an actor.
But it goes back to the Martin Luther King era. We was really looking for acceptance from them because they weren't talking about us integrating with them.
No, they wasn't.
We was really looking for acceptance. So it just still like to me it just still the same thing. Like it never changes. We got to change that. You know what I mean? We got to stop looking for acceptance and build our own. That's why we can't build our own because we want to be accepted by them. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying. So I would agree with that. I would agree that that's one of the problems in black society is that we feel like if we make it big, if white people decide to accept what we're doing, yeah, that would be a problem. I don't know if that's what Martin Luther King was seeking after.
They wanted to be integrated. He said he had a dream that blacks and whites to be sitting next to each other on the bus or working together and all that. So he was.
That's what I'm saying by people. I think people are misunderstanding. Okay. It's not just saying that he wanted us to be accepted. It's just that we be treated as equal, bro. Like he's saying like, okay, he want blacks and whites to be able to sit together on the bus because we're equal. We're both human. Right. So I shouldn't have to sit in the back of the bus because you think I'm less than you. We are equal. So we should be able to sit next to each other on the bus. We should be able to work together with each other in any place because we are equal human beings. I'm not less than you. You aren't more than me just because of the color of our skin.
But he was preaching that to them, really, not to us.
I mean, yes, he was preaching it to them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He was preaching that to them because we knew, like, at the end of the day, to this day, they still don't look at us as equal.
I mean, yeah, I know. He was definitely preaching it to them. He was telling them.
So he was looking for their acceptance.
That's not his. Okay. It's not him looking for their acceptance. It's him telling them, hey, treat us as equal, bro. That's not saying I want your acceptance. That's what you do.
Why? So if him asking them, telling them they want them to treat us as equal, is not asking for their acceptance. They ain't say, oh, we want y'all to treat us as equal. We had our own everything. We didn't really need anything. We didn't need nothing from them because we had our own black teachers, black schools. We had black everything. So we really didn't need nothing from them. So why do we need to be equal with them?
Because if you walked over to any part that was white, you had to get on the sidewalk. Should you have to get on the sidewalk because you're black? If you went to a restaurant and you had to go to the bathroom, you had to go outside to use the bathroom. Should you have to go outside to use the bathroom because you're black?
It's still that way to this day, to a certain extent.
You can go in the bathroom with white people too.
You can, but I'm just saying to a certain extent, though.
Look. There's one thing that we have to not do, and that we cannot ignore. That we do in this day and age have certain privileges that they did not have back then. No white person is walking up to you saying, boy, get on the street, or smack you upside your head, or taking your girl and saying, I'm about to rape her, it ain't nothing you gonna do about it.
Oh, I'll be going to jail.
Okay. So we can't sit and act like certain things have not changed due to what he was doing and what had happened as a result of it.
I just think that it ain't open like it was back then. It's still there, but it's just not. It's open and it was accepted then. It's not accepted now.
I mean, yeah, it's not. Yeah.
One, we smarter, so not to try to downplay them or nothing.
We're not smarter. They were smart then, bro. It's not about being smarter or anything like that. It's what was times was changing in the aspect of what was being allowed and what no longer could be allowed anymore. The whole thing is that one, the government always has been fearful of black people militarizing and coming together as a unit, because they realized that together as a unit we would be a powerful force in America.
But you know what we did? We came together to fight for equal rights. Like back in them days, like I mean we marching now, but that to me that marching is just like, it's just not enough. It's not doing nothing.
I mean,
I'm not taking that from nobody.
It's never gonna be enough. Because once again, and this is what people don't realize. With all the marching and stuff that Martin Luther King did, nothing really changed until after he died. And you know why that happened? Because black people started raising the cities to the ground, bro. They rioted everywhere. They burned stuff down. They were destroying cities left and right. When they started doing this, that's when they started putting in little civil rights bills and stuff like that and telling us, okay, we're going to do this for y'all and do that. Why? Because everybody was going crazy and they was going to destroy everything, bro. It's the only thing that they listen to is the destruction of property and then violence. That's it. They don't respond to protests because they don't care. Because the protest only lets them have a free ticket to just beat your brains in, bro. So that's why all of that didn't really work, and that's why people can say Martin Luther King was being used as a tool because he allowed a lot of black people to get harmed by following him and doing what they're doing because they didn't care, bro. They didn't care that they was beating all these black people. They wasn't stopping nothing because they was beating all of these black people up. But as soon as he died and black people went crazy and started burning everything to the ground and rioting everywhere, yeah, they had to do something about it. Because there'd be no peace in any of these cities. If black people together as a whole just started doing it everywhere, it would be pandemonium, bro.
Do you think we ever gonna get our just the equality that everybody wants? You think we ever gonna get that?
No, not here in America.
So since I'm pretty sure everybody probably would agree with you on that. So what do we do now? Like what? So when do we stop even looking for that? When do we just start? You know what? We're gonna build our own shit like it was back in the day. So we don't even have to look for that.
I hate when people say build our own stuff like it was back in the day because they destroyed our own stuff back in the day. It's like
yeah, they did. Yeah, but I just feel like now if we used to do that,
what we need to do is start answering violence with violence, bro. That would be the golden rule. If you want to treat others how you want to be treated, and if you treat us with violent means, then you should not be mad if we answer with violent means.
So we got to start protecting each other.
Exactly. That's all. We got to protect our communities. If you see, if people hear this, if you see cops start rolling up your neighborhood and start acting crazy, then I think every black man that has a firearm or something should show up just like the Black Panthers did and govern and police the police to make sure that everything goes copacetically. You know what I'm saying? Because if they see that everybody out there enforcing, ain't nobody playing, and we making sure that y'all, if you're gonna arrest them, arrest them. Don't beat on them. Don't hit them. Don't do nothing. Pick them up, put them in the cuffs, put them in the car, and we're going to follow y'all to the precinct to make sure everything go cool. And once you get in there, we'll do everything within the justice system. And if we find out that the justice system is bad, then stuff needs to be happening with that and all of that stuff. It's just as simple as that, man.
So what could we do to get on the same page with
each other?
Yeah.
So people got to just stop hating. But it's going to be hard to do because you got coons everywhere.
That's a fact.
So you got people that's always going to infiltrate and always talk bad about what we doing and make it seem like we the ones that's in the wrong as if we haven't been suffering injustice this whole time when it comes to certain things.
And you know what else, too? It's those people that act like they really for the people, but they really just taking the people money. I put them in the same category as them pastors, man, to a certain extent.
I mean, yeah, they all the same.
They do more harm to the community than help because they just stealing from people.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
You know what I'm saying? They just stealing from people. Like, I don't know.
And sometimes you gotta watch out for the white allies too, because they be doing the same thing. Use you as a way to be something they can put on their resume that they helped out the poor black people in fighting for their rights and stuff like that. But yet they hold some type of I like to say some type of racist ideology and things like that. There's a lot of stuff that we can do, but I mean, people just got to be wary of everything, bro. But if we really gonna stay on page and everybody be on code, then we just got to defend everything that goes on, regardless of how you may feel about it. We got to step up. If people gonna go ahead and support this young lady who got shot and go up against the police and being excessive in their force, then do that. Stand by them and do that. You know what I'm saying?
You think we would have looted way before the George Floyd, let's say with the Fernando Castillo situation, we would have did all the rioting and looting and tearing up then? You think George Floyd would have lost his life? Do you think that the people after
Let me ask you this. Has any black person lost their life after George Floyd by the hands of police?
Yeah, they have.
All right, so then it wouldn't have stopped. George Floyd probably would have still lost his life.
I don't know what we can do to really defeat this whole thing against the police. Like, I really don't know. I really don't know what we can do other than treat them the way they treat us.
One is, to be honest, the rioting and all that stuff, or just the burning down the cities, will just have to continue. regardless on how people may feel about it. It would have to be something that would just have to keep on going up until they decide to change. Two is we got to like you've been saying, we got to start being more proactive in policing the police in our own communities and letting them know that we not playing and stuff like that. It's got to be a following of the golden rule as far as when it comes to treating others as thou would like to be treated. And if they continue to want to treat black people poorly, then black people have to rise up and start saying enough's enough. You know what I'm saying? If this is how y'all want to be, then we gonna be the same way towards y'all. In that all of that aspect. I mean, and once again, everybody needs to go. All y'all that voted for Biden that said we need to go out and vote because y'all hated Trump so much because he was the boogeyman to y'all for some strange reason, need to be putting pressure on the president and the vice president, the same one that y'all claim is black, and she all for black people. She got hot sauce in her bag like Hillary Clinton. Need to be petitioning them to do some stuff in order to mitigate the stuff that is going on in these precincts and with these police. And if y'all not willing to do that, then shut up about people who don't want to vote and don't want to participate in this charade that we call what is it, politics in America, man. Because that's all it is. It's a fad. It ain't nothing. It is not beneficial to us, and it has not been beneficial to black people since we've been here to participate in this.
What else I think we need to stop doing is talking about the things that we need to do in public too. We got to stop that because they kind of listening and they trying to be a step ahead of us. We got to make sure, but they don't know nothing.
Like what?
I don't know. Just whatever it is we planning to do, or to either stop this police brutality or whatever it is that black people plan to do. We got to stop talking about it in public too. We got to start like having those meetings, private meetings, because we don't need them to know what we doing because they're gonna try to beat us to the punch. They're gonna try to, you know what I mean? It's a chess. It ain't checking.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's one thing I think we need to quit doing.
But I mean, we got to talk about it somewhat. I mean, you can still have meetings within your community, and I'm talking about the communities that are like the worst of the worst. Like y'all really got some problems in y'all communities where y'all can get together and talk about stuff that's going on. But it's gonna come down, like I said, man, it's gonna come down to a lot of things because one of the major things that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to do something about the people that like to sell drugs in our communities because drugs is the number one thing that gets people put in jail, whether you're using it or you're selling it. So we have to do something about it because if we keep having young men and young boys being shot over drugs or being put in jail over drugs, then we lose a lot of our fighting force. We lose a lot of our fighting force. Not only that, we lose people who can be in the homes of their children, helping them out to be upstanding citizens and things like that. So those are things that we're going to have to force and fight also within our own community. And that means that sometimes you're going to have to say, hey, Mr. Officer, we got such and such on the corner selling drugs. I mean, that's just gonna have that's gonna be what it's gonna have to be, man.
I just want to say this because they're trying to say this hate speech. This is not hate speech. This is not us. We don't hate white people or don't like white people. We just love our people. You know what I'm saying? We just having conversation.
Look,
you know, conversing.
I love all people who definitely love me.
Right.
Who treat me right. You know what I'm saying? If you treat me right, I'm gonna treat you right. You know what I'm saying?
We just conversing, trying to strategize to different ways that we can help our community build up our community.
I mean, that's all I'm saying.
That's all we doing.
Because I know some people like to spin it that way, but you got to remember, and then if people say, well, if you talking about you Christian, you can't be hating folks, but God said that, you know, Jacob have I loved and Esau I hated. Oh, no, I'm just looking. He said he hated Esau. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And we don't, like you said, we don't hate nobody in regards to any of this stuff. But there are certain things that have been going on towards black people. There are certain things that are going on in our community, and a lot of stuff that has happened has been perpetrated by white Americans towards us and being hateful towards black people for no other reason than just being black. It's like sometimes we ain't even doing nothing to them. Like if they put a Black Lives Matter thing on the street, then you got white people over there trying to paint over it. For what? It's not bothering them. It's not doing nothing to them. Like, why are you just that hateful to where you want to do this? And then it's like like I said, we got traitors within our midst that always want to just talk negatively about what black people are doing and try to ignore all the stuff that's been going on that has been injustice towards us and things like that. It's a lot of stuff, man. But in the grand scheme of things, like I said, and a lot of stuff we got to work backwards. You know what I'm saying? We do have to work backwards in how things were set up. And one of the first things that we need to do is definitely get rid of the drugs in our community. And we have to get rid of the people that sell the drugs in our community because they are part of the reason as to why they treat us and act like we are criminals and animals. And if we get rid of them and try to fix things within that aspect, then we good. And I know we have to find a way to one, get into the political spectrum with somebody who we can send into politics that will fight to make sure that drugs from other countries do not come over into America, or at least do not make their way into our communities. And we have to stop that. Now you can't tell me that the government don't know if they got bombs that can just they can just that are so accurate that they can hit the front side of a penny and not even miss, then there's no way they don't know who bringing drugs over here into America, from where, how much, and at what point in time. They have to know this. We got to find a way to get into there and get that stuff stopped, and get away in there and get these guns that are coming into our community, get that stopped. And we got to be more vigilant within our own communities to make sure we get stuff cleaned up. Because if we're not willing to do that, then we're not willing to stop anything. And you're willing to have everything continue on, man.
And with that being said, make sure y'all get in the comment section and tell us what y'all think. Give us some of your suggestions of what we can do to help our community, the black community. You know, make sure y'all comment.
I would definitely like to know.
I would too. I definitely want to see that. So make sure y'all comment and let us know what y'all think we could do to help the black community. Make sure y'all subscribe and like this. You know how the YouTube algorithm go, and they probably gonna say this hate speech, but it's not hate speech. I want to make that clear again. It is not hate speech. It's just a debate. It's just us trying to come up with different strategies and seeing stuff from different angles about the police brutality and the injustice in the black community. So with that being said, this is African Ant,
Black Sun, man.
and this is the Sons of Africa podcast, and we out.